Hello, son and daughter Lily, and Taro Adum. Welcome to another Diablo 4 video. This time I'm going to explain you my newest High Templar landing board build. Okay, so you can have this very fun build to farming stuff like infernal hordes and the high level pits also. Okay, I have two versions of this build. The only thing you have to need is to have different focus, like the Oculus Catalyst for farming, and the new Strike of Stormheart is the new for high level pits, because this ball lightning converts into a super ball lightning, and you're going to splash the enemies with lightning, like you can see here, like PROTOSS Archon against the Terra or the Ser. Alright, I'm going to explain you this build, and you to do more damage on pit you're going to do the Heart of Partition. Yeah, for farming Harlequin Crest the Shackle, and for pits the Heart of Partition and Strength of Stormheart. Alright, thank you for the new subscribers, and Valeria, Javier CR, and a lot of the people that just create the channel. Well, now I'm going to explain this build. It's very fun. Okay, I've had done a lot of stuff on hardcore with this build. Also, so the world bosses. Okay, you're immortal basically. Okay, I'm going to explain you my build now. First, you need to have this one, this ancestral unique focus Oculus Catalyst. Gives you ball lightning and chance for ball lightning projectiles to cast twice, damage reduction, and it's very good to farm stuff, dungeons like legions and tides and infernal hordes. Okay, it's very useful. I recommend you to use this one Oculus Catalyst to farm minor stuff, and for high potion of pits I recommend you this Strike of Stormhorn. It has the same chance for ball lightning projectiles to cast twice and more damage for ball lightning, but instead the ball lightnings converts into super ball lightnings that are larger, deal 125% increased damage, have higher liquidate chain and stun duration, and it's very useful for very high pits that you can see. All right, I recommend you to have a lot of mana with the seasonal power mana shield. This chaos spell give you reduced maximum life, but instead gives you 5,000% more mana, and also your mana regeneration is also increased 5,000%. Sorry, you gain 400% increased maximum mana, and but your life is reduced. Okay, you have 14 of life, but you have a lot of mana, almost infinite mana. And the more intelligence you have, the more mana regeneration you gain, and you to drain your mana when you receive damage. So be very careful, because if you spend a lot of mana you will die. All right, just that, but this mana shield makes you almost invincible, as you can see. So you have to have a lot of intelligence and this unique focus or a Strike of Stormhorn. This both can be chaos uniques like this one, and also we're moving to the chaos uniques. Okay, the chaos equipment unit is this crown illusion, cooldown reduction, and each time you use a skill with resource cost you gain increased damage. Okay, it's very important for the build, and to counter that amount of mana that you are going to spend, there is the Ring of Starless Skies with core skills is possible. Attack speed is a good choice, and or critical strike chance too, but core skill is the goal. Okay, spending your primary resource reduce the resource cost of your skills and gives you 50% more damage. All right, it's more damage and counters this what counters the crown of illusion. Also, Locron's talisman gives you critical strike chance and critical strike damage for each point above the 100, up to 500 resource. Okay, so they giving you more the critical strike chance and damage because there is a lot of mana, a lot of resource. All right, and also Banish Lord's talisman because gives you core skills or power damage. And after you spend 275 of your primary resource, your next core skill is guaranteed and overpower critical strike. All right, and deals 72% increased damage. So these three are very, very important for the build: Crown Illusion, Banish Lord, and Locrans. If you have these three and also the focus, you have this build complete. Also, I almost forget the Garbani Azurite. Okay, gives you cracking energy, increasing all lightning damage they take from you by 60%. It's two magnetized enemies hit each other with crackling energy, they pull each other together. It gives you this helps you to grab all your enemies at once, and also this gravitational aspect. After creating two ball lightnings, your next ball lightning implodes, pulling in surrounding enemies and dealing lightning damage. It's scaled with lightning bolt. So, the more skill points you have to lightning bolt, the more chance it happens, and the more damage you do. And this increases with chance for ball lightning projectiles here with this hammer. Okay, well, they have perdition core skills and also 60% more damage. All right. Also, we're moving back to the boots. You need intelligence, ball lining, of course, and if possible with armor or intelligence. But this is the best I have, and I spent a lot of days of ovals trying to get a good boot, but I always get this is the best I have. All right, so attacks reduce the evade cooldown by 1.5 seconds because it's very, very hard to find a good boot to farming, therefore forming. All right, because Symbol Lightning instead creates a separate field around you that damage or enemies within 244% of all lightning damage per T-ball. You are unhindered as long as the field is active. Alright, so this is the best for farming. Repeat you again. And finally, the amulet. You need intelligence, glass cannon, and you have inner flames. It would be great. Okay, we have this because it's the best we could have. With evade cooldown reduction for teleporting and unstable currents, cooldown reduction or overpower damage. You have a good gear like this ring with GA or cooldown reduction, or this crown illusion with cooldown reduction. Also, the hammer need intelligence, overpower damage, and damage if possible, and change for ball lightning and overpower damage. Almost, yeah, this is almost perfect. Oh, no way, this is perfect. Okay, but we need more materials to upgrade it. And with the shredding blades, more damage or vulnerable, 35%. With gems, we're going with the ruby for overpowered damage on weapons. Skull, grand skull for armor on jewelry, and the topaz for intelligence. So depends. Rune words, we're going in Ibex for all skills, and mystical frost nova with time tool. All right, that's the year. We're moving back to the seasonal powers, chaos perks, and shields. So for being mortal, basically, This for how 6% more damage when you cast a basic skill. That's why I have to have a basic skill. Your base core skills deal 20% more damage, but increase their cost. Your core skills deal 100% more damage, but reduce your maximum resource. But that doesn't matter with mana shield. You have infinite mana. Just be careful. Try to have the more damage reduction you can. Okay. Okay, we're moving to the skills. Here, because we're moving in hardcore, we're using this Blizzard. Gives you mana regeneration, almost 500 each second, and this gives you a lot of mana regeneration to be basically immortal. This is the trick. You just don't receive a very high damage. It's very almost impossible, but if you take a lot of damage, this is gonna be very fatal for you. Alright, so try to avoid damage, try to freeze everything and stun. We'll have a lot of crowd control with the mage. Alright, fireball for a fire skill. You could use this one spark, doesn't matter. Because I'm using elementalist, this is why I'm using this. And Tal Rasha for farming, but that doesn't matter. At the end, you just need to have this if you want to play on hardcore, but if you can go full lightning skills if you prefer. But this is my build for hardcore, and also I'm testing a little more for full lightning skills based build. But okay, I'm going to finish to explain my basic build. Mental dominance, more damage from core skills. Here to execute the enemies when they're 20% of life or less. This is very useful for high level pits. Alright, this is for damage reduction, 25%. Here more damage reduction for teleport, and also gives you the teleport enchantment. When you evade, you cast teleport instead. And ball lightning, you create another ball lightning when you critical strike. Alright, what else? The Frost Nova gives you when you cast the Rune Word, you can use this skill from Frost Nova. That grants you a lot of mana. Alright, so you basically have a lot of mana all the time. And also less cannon, more damage, but more damage taken. Unlike the elements, 60% more reduction when you're going to take a fatal damage. It's very useful for hardcore and for high level pits. Familiar, you're going to cast a lot of shock skill like the shock familiar, 10% more damage, mana shield, more damage reduction, more damage and mana regeneration from primordial binding, alright, from stable currents. Alright, Blizzard, I explained it before. Inner flames, more damage while healthy, ball lightning, all the skills you can have for this. It gives you more attack speed and more attack speed and more damage against stun and bosses. This from the boots, cracking energy from critical strikes shock skills, more damage from shock skills. If you have all your shock skills here, you're going to have to do more damage. You're not playing hardcore, I recommend this to have all lightning skills here. If not, permafrost gives you more damage if you have a frost skill on your bar. Icy touch, more damage from vulnerable. Doing more damage to chill enemies. And here on stable currents, you're going to have it all the time with overflowing energy, 85% more damage, and your crackling energy hits reduce your cooldown on stable currents. Right, more damage reduction and more damage where you pick a crackling energy, cooldown reduction, and that's it for skills. Alright, for Paragon, you're going to need this Tactician. Tactician gives you 15% more damage when you cast a defensive. This is the defensive that you're going to cast it when you use the rune word. You don't need to have here because you you're gaining the bonus from the amulet. Tendus destruction, more damage, while you don't have any defensive on your skills bar. Alright. So we're back to Paragon. Here more damage to elites and to non-physical damage. Seasonal conduit, more damage where you have critical energy, 60% more damage. Here destruction, more critical strike damage. Alright, frigid fate, more damage to vulnerable, 60% more. And then mastery skills like lightning ball. Alright, enchantment master, more damage from your enchantments, up to 60% more damage if you have 2 lightning skills on your enchantments slots. Elementalist, more damage here because you're using blizzard, and this is hardcore. Okay, you can change it for another glyph if you don't want to use this one. I recommend you what imbiber is very useful, and control gives you more damage for the stun or the slow or crowd control enemies. They're going to be frozen or stun most of the time. Alright, it's very useful to defeat always the farming monsters and the bosses when they're down. And searing hit, okay, 6% more damage. So the bonus of your critical strike damage. And that's it for the Paragon. Try to have more damage reduction, like while healthy, damage reduction for vulnerable. Alright, so it gives you a lot of survivability. Mercenaries Subo, more critical strike damage. And also Variana gives you bloodthirsty 10% attack speed more. You can have up to the 100%. And for the consumables, you want to use this one. I use this one, increases attack speed, elixir of advantage, says whisper and resistance. That's it. If you need some of the mountain for if you need more armor, it's cool. Alright, and that's it for the skills. So thank you so much for watching the video, and also if you need you need some help, you have to use to be here, is to be here in the game. I can help you with a hand on hardcore. This is my fourth mage I made this season for hardcore. Well, things that happens, electrical shutdown and that stuff. These 3 mages are from this season. So thank you so much for watching the video, and have fun in Taro Doom. My life for you. Alright? And always have this if you're playing hardcore. Ciao, ciao.
You have no idea the power I wield.